Hello there and welcome to the GTC channel. Today we're going to be talking about filtration planks. Filtration planks are a great addition to your pond. They allow through the wall connection to your chosen filtration and eliminate any unsightly hoses from travelling over the top of your pond. At GTC we offer two filtration options. The first one is what we would call a filtration plank. This is a sample I have in my hand, but this plank could be for an 8-foot octagon, a 1 metre, whatever you wish really. Now this accepts 1.5" fittings. One would be your inlet and one would be your outlet. The timber is pre-cut and then sent for treatment, so there's no risk of any insect attack or rotting. We would recommend this is probably for smaller to medium sized ponds, and when you're installing this plank, install it somewhere near the top of your pond. The second option that we have available uses the same 1.5" fitting for the inlet, and this would probably be installed somewhere near the top of the pond. The second part is two planks together with a 4-inch outlet. Now this is what we would call a filtration pack, and it's probably more aimed at your koi keepers and larger ponds. Okay, so now we're going to give you a brief guide on how to install your fittings in your filtration plank on your pond. We've installed our filtration plank near the top of the pond, as you can see, and we take one of the fittings and remove the screws and the faceplate. This faceplate goes on the pond side of the liner. Now with the back fitting, we need to stick that into position using a fish safe silicone, and repeat the process for the second fitting. So I'm just going to stick it in place. Using a fish friendly silicone. So once you've siliconed the pre-cutouts, you can put your back fitting in place. Now you need to take 2 of the screws which come with the fitting and just screw them in, not all the way, and leave them in the 12 and 6 o'clock position. This is so you can find them once you've installed your liner. I always leave the crosshairs of the screw north, south, east and west as well. Now you can see we have siliconed the back of the fittings into the plank as well. This holds it nice and secure. You may need to wait for the silicone to go off before you can proceed. Now we have our filtration fittings in place, we can go ahead and install the liner. Okay, now we've installed our liner and we've filled up the pond with water approximately 2 inches below the filtration fitting. Now this is a crucial part because you need to use a sharp knife and you need to be very careful. Just carefully cut the crosshairs of the screws. You don't want the hole to be too big, and make sure when you're not using your knife you move it right out of the way of the liner so it can't fall in the pond. And then you can tease the screw heads through the liner by pushing the liner over. And now you've exposed the screws. So now we need to stick our location or face plate on the front. We're going to put some silicone on the back of the face plate before we do that. Okay, so I've put silicone all around the back side of the face plate, and as we filled up our pond it's taken all the stretch out of the liner, so you won't get any nasty creases around the inlet and outlet of the pond. So now we can remove the screws. Now we've located where the fixing points are. So if you push one of the screws back through the face plate and through the top hole that you've made, it enables you to find the bottom hole. You can go ahead and tighten these up. Don't fully tighten them until you've put the other two screws in. Nearly there. You have to be really careful when you're cutting fittings into the liner, because obviously the liner is not covered by any mechanical damage. So the onus is on you to get it right. So you can just tighten those now. And now this section of liner on the inside is ready to trim out using a sharp knife. I'm just going to install this other one and then we'll trim out the holes. So I've done exactly the same procedure and installed the face plate for this filtration fitting. I've put silicone on the back of the face plate again and installed the screws. Now we can trim out the liner material from the centre of the liner fittings. So just run the knife carefully around the inside of the fitting. There you have it. 2 filtration fittings installed. They're all the same, whether it's 4" or 1.5". Once you've got to this stage, you can then add your filtration. This makes the product watertight. Then you can fill up the rest of the pond and that will remove any further creases. Please make sure your water is safe before adding any fish. Once you've done that, you can enjoy your pond.